Back again for another video. Today's conversation should be about why she should not be in charge. I mean, the evidence is right about this. I mean, we know why she shouldn't be in charge, but let's break it down a little bit. Let's go into a few philosophical adventures on this, right? So let's talk about why men should be in charge first, and then we'll contrast it, of course, and then we'll go from there. So men, we're put here to dominate the earth, period. That's what we're put here for. And of course the Bible says that man and woman is meant to rule over the earth, but the Bible also makes the clause to say that a man shall rule over thee, as in the woman. You don't believe me? Read it in Genesis. But anyway, let's not even go about the Bible. Let's just go about what we actually see, because remember I say the truth is consistent. So you should be able to see these things play out right now, because that's the truth, or for a long period of time. That's how the truth works. So throughout hundreds of thousands of years, the falling and rising and the repetitiveness of the societies coming up, societies going down, societies migrating, have all been headed mostly by men. 99% throughout the world, society, no matter where you go on this planet, a man has had his foot there and has been in charge. For the most part. I mean, there are some remote places that we haven't been, that we don't stay, we don't, normalize as societies. That's because of the conditions, etc. But generally speaking, if it's a flat piece of land and we can grow food, we in there, right? So men have always dominated over nature. That's what we do. We fight against the terrain, we fight against the weather, we fight against calamities, we fight against natural disasters, we fight against all of these things in order to maintain our civilizations. The women also help. They do help, although at the same time they're not the ones spearheading these fights, largely. So that's one reason why they should not be in charge, because they've never been in charge. I mean, I get these arguments, these pushbacks of saying, well, there's a leader of Germany and she's a female, and Queen Cleopatra, blah 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 blah. These only represent, if you actually want to use them as a poster child for your argument, they only represent less than 1% out of the current history we understand of anything semblance of a female leader. So yeah, the Queen of England, same thing. She's nothing but pretty much a mascot in my opinion, because the Parliament is the one that actually run things. She's just a face. So even throughout history, you can look back, anytime women were in charge or put into positions, the economy started to fail. That's what happened. I mean, let's look at Rome. But we won't go into that. I'm not a real big history buff, so I don't pose those type of arguments here. My argument is simply that women were not in charge throughout the history of man because they are not built for that. But let's look at what happens when she's in charge. When she's in charge, chaos starts to take over, period. I mean, unless there's a system already put in place that is dictated from a man, she is going to cause chaos on her own. That's what she's fixed for. She's fixed for chaos. She's fixed for over scrutinizations of the environment. That's what happens when when female natures run amok. It constantly wants to change things. That's chaos. And even if it's changed things for the quote unquote better, it's still chaotic. Some things are better left alone. But the reason why, once again, she should not be in charge is because of the chaos. The other reason is because she is self-absorbed. She satisfies and looks out for self. That's what she puts first. She puts her desires first. She puts her own safety first. She puts her own needs first. She puts everything of hers from her perspective first. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Women were built to be this way. Remember, the truth is consistent, because no matter where you go in this world, you can see women putting themselves first. Even in cultures where it's frowned upon, women still figure a way around that to put themselves first. So you can't say that is not a truth. Whether it's right or wrong, like I said, we're not here to discuss that. We're here to talk about exactly what is and why it is. That's it. That's part of the red pill ideology, accepting what the truth is, regardless of how you feel about it. So the reason why she should not be put in charge, and the reason why she isn't in charge, is because she has poor management skills. Remember, I said in my previous videos that women do not submit to themselves. Therefore, they cannot create discipline. They submit to a structure. The only time that a woman is able to succeed in this society that men have built is if they follow the roadmap that men have made and laid out for them in order to succeed. Rarely do you run across women who innovate things past a man's invention. It happens, not gonna lie. There are a lot of women who come up with things that aid and spearhead the direction of society. But by and large, that is not a woman's job. Therefore, we cannot expect that of her, because that has never been a criteria of her nature. So we have to purely go with what the truth is. The truth is that she's not meant to be put in a position of leadership. Now, that's not to say that men should not delegate leadership to her accordingly, because she is the leader over children. She is the leader over the elderly, etc., stuff like that. Because these are the ones who, by and large, caretake for these types of demographics. And argue with me if you want, but look at the schools, look at the nursing homes. Who's there? The women. That's how it's been. That's how it will always be. Of course, you have your one or two men in there, but for the majority, this is what they do. So they're meant to be leaders, just not ahead of men, progressive men who actually hold status and title and the respect because of their accomplishments. They're not meant to be put ahead of them. So when a woman is put ahead of them, she is going to corrupt that system that men before her have built it up to be. This is the reason why when you start to put women in certain positions, that company starts to do a little wibble wobble, the production starts to go down. And it's once again, it's not because women are bad people or poor at getting the job done. It's because they are self-absorbed. Men are not. Men, we were put here to care about women and children and everybody else. So we make sure to include and oftentimes put them ahead of ourselves, the safety, the needs, the wants, the desires of these individuals who are behind us in regards to society, who support us, who are meant to follow us, who are meant not to be the leaders. We make sure that we take care, we look back and we take care of those individuals. Women, on the other hand, when you put them in a position, they will morally signal that this is what they are doing. But in all, at heart, they are not. They're worried about themselves. They're concerned about their needs first. Remember, I said plenty of times that women have an ulterior motive. They will put a false, not necessarily untrue, but they will put a false premise on things and have a secondary premise, which is actually their main premise, to get accomplished. What this looks like is a woman will ask you, what are you doing today? Where are you going? Or something like that. And you may ask her why. And she will say, well, I'm just concerned, because the past few days have come up with an excuse, whatever. But the real reason is because she has insecurities. You know what I mean? That it's the reason, and then there's the real reason with women. And oftentimes when you see women in positions of power, you will see the reason, but you will never see the real reason. But if you dig, the crazy part is that you don't have to dig very far to see the real reason in regards to how women move and operate when it comes to their double premise. But anyways, I hope this video was informative. I tried to make it as quick as I can because I really don't like doing long videos, especially when I don't have necessarily an audience to interact with. But anyways, like, comment, and share. This has been the Wolf in Beta Clothes, and until next time, may you have a good day and peace be with you.